taking, no, we factually on them. The rest that be folding the same niggas that act like
Alright, OG solo nigga, you got ism. Put that shit to use, these niggas speaking on me. Really a matter of who gon' shoot, and if in self-defense, I go kill him, said I don't know, dude. Made it give me head, then act brand new, bitch, I don't know you. Before I pull it out.
What up, Palm Tree? You are tuned into another episode of Palmcast. It's your boy Chillin' Dylan, Jesus of SoundCloud, Black Tom Anderson, and your favorite rapper still owes me money. Now, if you're new to the channel, I need you to do me a little favor. That's hit that subscribe button. And if you've already been here before, or if you've come back many times, you need to hit that like button, okay? And you need to follow Palm on Instagram and TikTok. That's _PA.LM. I'm going to say it one more time if you weren't listening. That's at _PA.LM. Today, now, this is probably the fastest turnaround I've had from being introduced to a new artist to, you know, getting him in the studio for an interview. I got my man Illah in the house, you know, all the way from India, India's own, representing LA at the same time too. Pleasure to have you, brother.
The pleasure's mine. What's the deal, y'all? My name's Illah. To those who don't know me, I've been in the independent music world for a while. Appreciate you for bringing me over and letting me speak my story.
No doubt, man.
I deleted all my hurts for you. Even folded all my plans with all the birds for you. Ain't that real? Ain't that real? Yeah, ain't that real? Yeah, ain't that real? I deleted all my hurts for you. Even folded all my plans with all the birds for you. Ain't that real? Ain't that
out, man. Okay. So, like I was saying, man, that, you know, had a crazy ass reaction in the comments and on my story from Slurpees to Slappers, bro.
That was the one that got me.
Yeah. So, man, like from Slurpees to Slappers, tell the truth, man. Were you really working at 7-Eleven, a place I, by the way, spend way too much goddamn money at? Were you really working at 7-Eleven and then you got fired for filming a music video there?
Yeah, I really did. Yep.
Okay. Tell me about that shit, dude.
It was cool. To be very honest with you, my job didn't last me more than a day.
Really? So you were only employed at 7-Eleven for a day?
I mean, like, that was the whole point. You know? When you think of Indian people, you think IT, doctors, freaking liquor store owner.
And 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, you feel me?
Convenience stores, yeah. No, that's crazy. And it's like, you know, the stereotype of an Indian guy is, you know, to work at a 7-Eleven. But the opposite of the stereotype is to be a hard-ass rapper. So take me all the way back to the beginning of your story. Now, you were born in India, but you grew up here in LA?
I was born in India, but the U.S., especially LA itself, has been home to me since I was young. My mom and real brother used to stay out here. So every summer, this was like the place to be, you know?
Dope,
like,
yeah. Nothing like Cali in the summertime.
Right. And I kind of knew, like, I was aware of like the culture over here, but it was just like I didn't really experience it fully, you know. I was a tourist. Every time I came, I was here for a week, 2 weeks. I know, you know, Venice Beach, Santa Monica is cool, you know.
Yeah, that's the tourist life for sure.
Yeah,
get
sure,
you a little California love
t-shirt
from
the bear and all that, you know,
little store,
and all that, like the whole thing, you feel me? So, so I think it was like I was 16, 17. I got tired. I've been wanting to do music, but for me to be able to leave India and do music, I had to do exceptionally well in school and give a SAT. So I really had to like get out of my element and like force myself to like study and be smart to be able to apply for a music school here. And I came out here on a scholarship for a music school.
Right. And you graduated from Musicians Institute?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Indeed.
dope. All right. Very dope. Okay. So tell me about who was Illah growing up as a kid, you know, growing up and going back and forth between the United States and India must have been a hell of an experience, man. Break it down.
You know, honestly, like, me personally, you know, we all have our own opinions, but this is the opinion that I'm of. I feel like everybody, you, me, everybody in the room, we're all like global citizens, even people watching this.
True that.
We all have some sort of like a makeup that's not necessarily like one nationality or one like culture. We learn something from others, you know. Like,
yeah, culture's kind of like a sponge. You soak up different things.
Yeah,
from
like
places.
I was just talking. Shout out my boy Hot Boy. Shout out my boy JT. They're Black and Mexican. We was just talking about like the type of place or environment that you kind of grow in, or the people you grow up around. You kind of like start adapting to their ways of thinking, also not just their ways of living. If that makes sense. Like it's like you take on that mindset, or you just see them and you're so impressionable when you're young, type of a deal. It's just like Oh,
Yeah.
like ingrains you in a way.
And I also say this a lot, on here and on my other podcast, Thickness Protection Program. Part of, growing up in California is embracing the culture of others. So, I have like Mexican-American godparents, and I have, friends of all cultures. I had, a Bengali best friend in middle school.
What are the odds?
Yeah, Filipino friends, white friends, of course, Jewish homies. So, you growing up with everybody, so that's, part of the secret sauce, I think that makes us
that's
Thousand Island, but yeah.
That's the crazy part too, because it's like in California, like outside looking in, people don't understand that, but when you really grow up here, or you just like live here for too long, and you kind of start seeing that it's like a, what's the word in English for it? It's like it's a melting pot.
Yeah,
it's a melting pot of cultures. You find like West Hollywood is some East Hollywood is Little Armenia or whatever. Like it's Little Bangladesh, Artesia is like what's it called, Little India. Like it's all sorts of like small subcultures under the LA County, and just so much different even within cities. From city to city you go, it's a complete different vibe.
Exactly. That's kind of the beauty of it.
City
to city,
definitely.
Completely different vibe.
Like,
from
you could go to Dago. It's probably active over there too, but it's like completely different. You could go up north to the Bay, shout out the Bay, shout out San Diego, you feel me? But you could go to the Bay, Sacramento, San Jose, Richmond, Oakland, wherever, like, and you will experience all those cities to be different from each other, leave alone LA.
No doubt, all up and down California. Right. But I wanted to know, Illah, how do your family back in India, and, representing the Indian culture, how did they, respond to you, being a rapper?
Honestly, music's been something that has been my life goal, but being Indian, growing up in India and growing up in those sort of like, I wouldn't say circumstances, like I'm not trying to make it sound like bad because it's a third world country, or like, like,
yeah. I mean, probably the U.S. is probably way worse than a third world country at this point.
Like honestly, it was just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was supposed to not be here, bro. I was supposed to either be working across the street at that 7-Eleven. I was supposed to be a liquor store owner. I was supposed to either be a doctor, engineer, or something like that doesn't involve music. But because my parents, rest in peace, my dad.
Right.
But because my mom and my granny and my granddad always they saw me doing music. Like I played 5 instruments. I played in bands. I sang, all types of stuff as a kid. I could read, write music. Lots of shit rappers don't do.
Hella impressive. So you're a well-rounded musician.
Right. Yeah. Basically. So, like, it was always like, what is he going to do? Because, growing up in India, especially the school I went to, like, everybody was, like, either, like, they ended up in Ivy League schools, or they, like, ended up in, like, super group positions or worked for the government and stuff like that. So it was, like, even though it was a public school, it was, like, we had certain expectations, and just being Indian, like, it was this, like, third world country. Parents usually have, like, way crazier expectations than over here. Like, like my mom thought I'd be the president of India or something, to be honest. You feel me? That's the type of expectation she had from me. But my way out from that was, like, getting into college. I used music school as an excuse to pursue music, really. And then they saw that it's, that's really what I want to do, I applied for a gang of colleges. I got into some Ivy League schools, so that was like, that's when my mom really saw, like, oh, like, he's not dumb. The stereotypical musician, they think, oh, we only make music because we're dumb, or we can't do anything else, or we can't get a job. And it was just like, it was pretty evident to everybody, my peers, everybody growing up, that it was because I really wanted to do that.
That's dope. And it's dope that your family, like, embraced you wanting to do music and embraced you wanting to be in the arts. Now, to just briefly, touch on your dad, rest in peace, man. What did he mean to you in your life? And, how long ago was it that he passed?
I got 2 people in my life that passed away last year that were like my dad. One was my biological dad, Matung Singh, rest in peace. He died from COVID. And rest in peace, Jermaine Carter, Reverend. That was like my pops over here, growing up over here, moving over here after school, being 17, 16, stuff like that. He was somebody that really took care of me. I stayed with him too, and I learned a lot about the music industry for him. So we lost him to cancer last year.
So 2 big male figures you lost.
Yeah,
last
definitely.
year.
2 of probably long live Joseph Fombi Sosa. That was my big bro growing up. I lost him to violence, racial violence last year.
Right. Well, condolences to you, my brother. If these men were around to see you doing what you're doing today, what do you think they would say?
I know Sosa would say I killed it for a fact. I'm just trying to do right by those people because, just the community I was in, coming here, the culture shock, L.A., Watts, Inglewood, Compton, just all the different cities, Hawthorne, Gardena, Sting. I even stayed in the Valley, Hollywood.
So you've grown up in all these neighborhoods? You've lived in all these places?
Yeah, I wouldn't say grown up, but I've stayed, in them, and for a long part to the point where it was everybody here is just like the same thing, bro. Motherfuckers from LA don't really, my bad.
No, you could say whatever you want.
Motherfuckers from LA don't really blow up because they're too stuck up about LA.
I think it's that why people from LA, we get on, but we got to do better at supporting each other because these radio stations ain't doing a damn thing.
No, you're right. Because, it's people on the radio that don't have real views, real streams and stuff like that. And me and my shout out stopped playing Nick films. Me and Nick was just talking about it. Like, it's so many people that don't have no type of motion, but they get pushed by radio stations. And then it's people that like a lot of independent artists that don't. So it's like a LA thing, because if you go to Atlanta, artists support each other. If you go to Memphis, artists support each other, It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a problem that, the media conglomerates out here really got to work on. But that's why I'm here. Okay. So you grew up a lifelong musician. I heard you said you played like a gang of different instruments, man.
Right.
Tell me as far as like the artist side goes, who are some of like your musical influences?
Honestly, bro, you'd be surprised. I played as a kid growing up. I even played in a rock band.
Dope. Okay.
I played in like a punk band.
Nice. What rock and punk bands do you fuck with?
A lot, like the whole like Warped Tour wave. You feel me? Like that whole like I was
Bad
born
Religion and Green Day.
You feel me?
I'm just guessing.
I was born in '97, so like I'm basically like a late '90s kid. I'm like
no doubt. I'm born in '92.
Yeah.
So I'm.
But you're early
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 year. Sonic Jam year. Some shit like that.
Yeah. Like I was around when like San Andreas was a thing. Like
San Andreas. Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt.
Shit like that. Like
Okay. Any other like influences as far as like who made you want to rap?
Honestly, again, long live Red. Like many years ago, my uncle, my mom's real brother, who used to stay out here. He went to one of the swap meets and he got me like a CD. He thought it was a game, but it was really like this album called Bangin' on Wax.
Right.
That's the one that my pops.
Classic.
Long live Rim. That's the person who had actually put that together.
And he thought it was a video game, but it was a rap CD.
Yeah, and then boom,
it was Bangin' on Wax.
I played that record and boom, it's just like, oh, okay, this sounds like Snoop Dogg and you're young and it's just like impressionable or whatever. And then, the universe works in mysterious ways because a few years later, that's who, like, I ended up at his house. Like, that became like my pops.
Definitely.
I got mentored by him.
The universe does work in mysterious ways, man. Yeah. Speaking of video games getting mistaken for rap albums or vice versa, I remember way back when I first saw the cover of Redman, Doc is the name, and I thought that shit was a PlayStation game, dead ass.
Dead ass, bro. And that's what we're working on right now. I'm working on the iOS and Play Store app.
Oh, you stole the words out of my mouth. I was about to ask, we were talking off camera about what you got going on in the tech world. Break it down.
So we got an NFT coming up with all the artists that collaborated with me. We're going to have limited edition versions of their music as well as just, non-touchable, collectible, stuff like that. Stuff that, is one-on-one, basically, shit of value. And we got a video game that's going to be available on phone, so you could download it on Android and iOS and play it, and it's going to have mine and everybody who I mess with their music on it.
Dope. I love that.
Right. The characters are custom as well.
Okay. The hip-hop fan and the gamer in me is already stoked for that shit, man.
Right.
So let me know how I can get involved in that, real talk. Okay. Anything else going on the tech side, Illah?
It's just so much going on, like, right now, outside the NFT and that, we're doing a documentary about, I'm going to call it The Face of India, because we're putting all the influences, all the people, rest in peace, everybody that's been a part of the process together, and we're going to make that an NFT as well. So stuff like that. We just put, I just dropped my own exotic soda. It's called Mango Madness, and the India's only sweet tea. Both of them got a QR code. If you scan the QR code, you could get the album that counts as a stream. It's available at Ignite.
That is so creative. I love that.
Thank you. It's available at Ignite Smoke Shop in Hollywood, and we're still working on getting it distributed to more independent and small-owned businesses.
So that sounds bomb. I'm gonna need a case of that Mango Madness.
Man, definitely.
All right. Now, let's talk about some of the new stuff you've released compared to some of the older tracks you had on Spotify that I listened to.
Right.
Now, around like 2018 or so, I think I remember the years, your song for...
Oh, I tried to kill myself.
I tried to kill myself, yeah. You had more of like a sound that was like a SoundCloud, Lil Peep. You shouted out Lil Peep in that song, Rest in Peace.
Rest in peace, Lil Peep.
Yeah, you had more of a SoundCloud emo rap sound, and then you kind of have grown over time into, you know, this LA street rap shit, you know, which I love, man. How did that happen?
I don't even know, bro. Honestly, like I said, like I play so many different instruments. I've grown up listening to Herbie Hancock all the way to like banging on wax, like old G-funk music, you know, just all the way to like metal, heavy rock.
Oh yeah,
you know,
you're a student just like me. Exactly.
Yeah, like I like everything, bro. Like you know, I'll just listen and tune in just to tune in and know what's going on in that world. I like being like that, you know. I don't like being ignorant. I don't like being uneducated. It makes me anxious.
Same way. Okay. You got 1 million plays on Tried to Kill Myself, man. So like, tell me, what was the feeling like? You know, did you know this was the song that was going to propel you?
Honestly, not, because that was like growing up. Like, this is how I transitioned to a rapper. I came out here, I started playing in bands, started making beats. I had always knew what rap music was. I always had like some sort of an affinity and love for it, but I never took it seriously. Like, I got a rap song that I put on YouTube from like 2006, 7. Like,
oh, okay.
You feel
me?
me?
Young when that came out.
Yeah. So I've always dabbled with different types of music. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm going to only be an instrument player, or oh, I'm only going to be a producer or rapper. I started making beats for money because, you know, I came here. It was all new to me. Going to music school, I knew a lot of people that rapped and made music at the time. You know, shout out Anderson Park. He went to school with me around the same time.
Right. Okay, that must mean you might know Polyester the Saint too. The Palm interview alumni.
No, you need to tap me in.
Okay, I'll tap you in for sure. Good dude. Worked with everybody.
But around then, right? So I have friends that start rapping, and I start meeting people, and I start producing them and recording them, because I always love recording. Ever since I was a kid, I recorded myself, recorded the bands I've been in. It's just been like, that was, you know, one of those things I was extremely passionate about. I started recording people, and it kind of gives me a more insight. I'm helping them now, and just from being an engineer and the music guy that made the beat, I'm like, hey, bro, why don't you try, you know, saying it like this? Because I have an idea of rhythm, something they lack because they're not a musician, you know?
I got you.
So that kind of relationship started developing to the point where I was like, you know what, I just want to do this myself. And then Free, my friend Bori, that was like one of my closest friends at the time. And my boy Townboy and Neil, we just dropped a song. Shout out Townboy. They just kept going to jail again and again. And it was like, at that point, it was just like, damn, y'all keep going to jail. And I'm hoping you guys blow up, so I blow up. So now I might as well start doing this myself.
You had to just do the damn thing on your own.
Yeah.
Can't wait on nobody. Can't rely on anyone.
Like, not in a weird sense, but it was just like, they kind of inspired me, because they were like, you might as well do it too. So, you feel me? Shout out in there. Like, that's really one of the people that really sat there with me for hours. Like, nah, bro. Like, your accent.
Do it one more time.
Like, do it one more time.
And the crazy thing is, like I was telling you off camera, your talking voice and your rapping voice are completely different.
Right.
You know, because like when you're spitting, you sound like straight up on some street shit, and then, you know, when you're talking, I mean, it is more like, you know, that, thank you for calling IBM. Can I get your serial number?
You said IBM. I'm crying. I haven't heard that in years.
Yeah, so, sorry, I had to, you know, throw that.
IBM.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? That throwback shit. You know what I mean? Okay. One thing that I'm sure people are curious about is, you know, first of all, do you want to tell them a little about, my bad, this 230 Co. clothing?
Well, yeah, no, definitely. Shout out 230 Co. I was just taking my mask out right now. If y'all see this, tap in with my boy right now. Hottest independent clothing brand in LA right now. We got the streets, me and my boy. We got it on lock right now. We got a shirt coming. He's doing my merch too. Shout out to 30 Co. from Carson. They actually my distributors for my merch. We have a merch coming out that says "Free your bitch, she not in jail, just the wrong relationship," and it's gonna say the 230 logo. So you feel
dope?
Me?
Okay. And
Shout
what's
out
the
to them.
significance of the 230?
Honestly, you got to get into it with that person.
Okay,
like,
cool.
shout out
We can
230,
bring him on at the end for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
and shout out 230.
All right, no doubt. Now,
But from what I know, it's like it's more about like fentanyl awareness because
I
all
see.
those people
Yeah,
dying
huge
of
problem.
part
A lot of
30s
lives
and stuff.
lost.
Yeah. So we have some stuff like we have a fuck fentanyl shirt coming out and all types of stuff. So my boy is really on like that type of a tip. I fuck with this brand, my bad. I rock with this brand so hard because like he stands for something. Just like me, like in a way I stand for bridging communities the same way he stands for awareness. In a way it's fashionable, it's cool, but it's a deeper meaning to it. Just like how my music is like you hear the ignorant shit, you see the cool stuff, see all the people in the video, but like it, on a bigger level, we're all trying to like bridge communities and do stuff on like the social level that people don't understand.
Very dope. Nothing but love for it. Okay. Now, one thing that people are probably going to want to know, and I have no problem with you saying the word nigga as a black guy, but just break it down, man. Like, who, I don't know if the question is who gave you the pass or like, what happened or like, I'm not questioning it. I just kind of want to hear why you say it.
Honestly, bro, I don't even know why. That's how honest, like I'm keeping it $4 with you right now. Like, I don't know why to say it. Like, I grew up saying it, I was probably like, when most of the friendships or most of like the areas and relationships I grew up around, I was the only like non-black person. So I didn't really feel extremely uncomfortable saying it because I really grew up thinking I was one of everybody else in the household that I was staying in,
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Like, I mean, like, bro, at the end of the day, I'm Southeast Asian, right? Mm-hmm. So I understand how that shit works because it's always going to make people uncomfortable. I have an album that I dropped that I didn't say the N-word in, and actually it didn't really get as much eyes on it. It's out right now on SoundCloud. It's called Passport. If y'all go check it out, none of the songs have N-word in it. Yeah.
Okay. Would some people think like, oh, did you have to say that to get on, or
Nah, it's just like I feel like almost like I didn't try this, but it's almost like people like seeing ignorant shit, And,
yeah, they do.
Like I'm not for it necessarily, but it's like shit. That's just like sometimes I make music and I'm just with my friends and that's how it sounds. Like it's not like I'm trying to say like, oh, I'm gonna make a song and say nigga in it. Like you get what I'm saying?
No. I respect it.
I'm not black. I understand it.
Yeah, and growing up in California, again around a lot of different cultures and a lot of people live a hood life. No matter what their skin color is or no matter what their culture is, and hip hop resonates with people in their soul.
Right, like the crazy part is, bro, people were saying the N-word in India to each other growing up in schools too and shit, so like on some cool shit, on some normal shit. So when I came over here, it wasn't like, And
I'm sure there's probably, a lot of people in India who are living much more grimier than American blacks. And, not to sound like controversial or, sound fucked up in any way, but I'm sure, there's a lot of struggles that, one culture over here and the culture over there could probably relate to.
My big bro D-Braze, shout out D-Braze, he always said this, every place got a struggle. You know?
Very
you could
true.
You could be in the UK, you could be in Japan, China, India, Belgium, Australia, Austria, you feel me, Netherlands, dead homies, wherever. It's going to be somewhere or the other where it's their struggle or economically, like an economic divide,
Oh, for sure, man. In the words of Afro Man, different places, different races on the same basis.
Man, shout out Afro Man. He took me on my first tour ever.
Really?
I played guitar for him.
Wow. Okay. Dope, man. That's a big influence of mine, actually. Shout out Afro Man.
Shout out Afro Man.
Afro Man, come do Palmcast.
Man, Afro Man, tap in, man. We
Come
trying
on,
to
man.
work,
Get
huh?
your boy high as hell. All right. Another thing in your lyrics that I wanted to know about, man, the ism. First of all, when you really speak on that shit, that's my favorite stuff from you. But,
Right.
In your upbringing and in your coming of age years, you rap about like Figueroa and the Blade and,
Right.
pimping and these things which are part of a culture that's always been around, but, getting a little more mainstream through different outlets like Sharp on No Jumper. Shout out to him.
Shout out Sharp. Shout out Almighty.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
one of-
Almighty, yeah.
despite
Shout
all-
out Sinful to P, too.
Yeah,
But,
despite-
yeah, man, break it down. Like, how did, the ism come to you? Is that something you, that's embedded in you, or what is it?
I ain't gonna lie. My Uncle Slink, shout out Slink Dog, Lil Slink Dog. He was a pimp, so it wasn't like I just learned, like, even growing up, like, over here, like, I have friends that would do shit like that. So I just kind of learned. I'm not no pimp, you know?
Right. Palmcast does not condone pimping, but we do
that's
study
shit.
the ism.
Yeah, we do study ism, you know? Like, I'm just like, I'm a, what's it called? You know, you ever heard that quote by Charles Darwin? Survival of the fittest. So, like, all these things that I saw, even if it wasn't necessarily, like, me doing it or me going through it, like, I just kind of picked up, learned from it, and kind of, like, put together my little, like, scrapbook of what I think of America.
Very dope. A scrapbook of what you think of America.
And,
that is hard.
Somehow
okay.
you could put ism on there. Ism remind me, man. Pimp Street, out by it's out now by Almighty Suspect. That's a fire album.
Dope. Have you had a chance to meet Almighty or work with him?
No, I haven't, but you know, outside, despite it's like so much blackballing in LA and the way LA works, like Almighty, one of them people, one of the first LA rappers to like show me love. Like,
okay.
he shared my say, I don't know, bro, nothing like that. He said, like, you know, he always show love. Like, most of these famous people don't do that, you know?
I actually had a question about that, man. How does LA politics, you know, affect you?
It doesn't affect me.
But, well, there you go. There you have it. Okay, moving on. All right. Now I gotta ask, man, the Wallie the Sensei cosign, man. Shout out to Wallie. That is one of my favorite new artists out of LA,
Shout
out of
out
Compton
Wallie.
specifically. Man, tell me, how did you guys first click up?
Shout out Fofo and Zoo. My boy Zoo, I'm wearing his clothing brand right now. As y'all can see, it's called The Real Kind.
Okay.
We just had a meet and greet for my last album listening party, and we have my boy 230, we have my boy Cap Street Wear, and we have my boy Zoo Rose, who got the Real Kind clothing pop out and do their merch stalls there for my meet and greet. Surprisingly, we had it was sold out, like it was a pack.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So Wally showed up there to show love. It wasn't you know, it wasn't like scripted, if that makes sense. Like, bro, he
attended your event, like,
he's
just
a
pulled up on some
genuinely
homie
cool
shit.
guy. Yeah, like, he's genuinely just pulled
Yeah.
up. Like, he didn't, you know, I didn't expect him to.
And, you know, Wally is always down to earth with it. You know, every time I, you know, run
Really
into
cool
him
guy.
somewhere, he's, very cool
he,
dude.
He actually knew
Yeah.
my big bro, Fombi. You know, Sosa, long live Sosa.
It's actually kind of sad, man. The last time I saw Wally was back in June. I actually ran into the owner of the studio, Morris Media, Poetis, on the same night. Wally was with Key Riches. Those were the first guys I saw.
Rest in peace, Key Riches. I was just with bro on his birthday.
Yeah, rest in peace, Key Riches. Your birthday's in February as
February
well,
2,
right?
yeah, February 1st.
Okay, Aquarius, no doubt. All right. Talk to me about working with P4K from Baby Stone Gorillas.
Shit, my boy, Mishul, shout out Lil Mishul. He had got P4K on the song, and he got me on it too.
Oh, dope. Okay.
I
Just
got
happened real organic?
Yeah, it was organic. You know, P4K, cool guy.
Okay.
You know?
Is there anybody else you would like to rap alongside with, or a producer you want to work with?
I got some with top 5. Shout out my boy Viper Beats. Shout out Zanzan, Vangala, Relim. They some producers.
Relim, yeah. Is Relim the one that produced Get Buck by Puya?
Yeah.
Okay, hard. Yeah,
he just produced the song I just dropped.
Oh, dope.
Like yesterday.
Okay. What's the name of that one?
In My City.
In My City, for sure.
Shout out Relim.
Relim,
yeah. Shout out.
I love how you're just all over the place, you know, with, you know, the LA street sound to the SoundCloud sound, man. We definitely, you know, descend from the same planet.
Well, me, I ghostwrote a lot of big people's songs. Like, you'll be surprised the type of people are, like, whose songs I wrote word for word.
Very dope. Okay. Ghostwriting.
I just can't speak on it because some situations is an NDA, you know?
Yeah. And some you got to sign contracts. Yeah. No, I totally understand. There's a topic in the news I kind of wanted to, you know, get Illah's opinion on it, man. Blueface getting arrested for attempted murder, bro.
Free Jonathan.
Free Jonathan. Yeah, I'm, you know, not too educated on the backstory as far as, you know, why it happened, but, you know, I just hope he gets a fair trial.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously.
free Blueface, you feel me?
Yeah.
I don't wish jail on nobody.
No.
You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of complicated, you know, because his relationship with Krishan just seems kind of like a roller coaster.
Yeah,
I don't know if that had to do
like,
with it.
People are so toxic that
Yeah.
they feel like that's her way of getting out or some shit. Like, I don't know. I feel like I fuck with bro music. You feel me?
Right,
so
right.
Shit, I don't know.
No, and I met him a few years ago. He was a chill dude, so you know, we'll see, man. Free Blueface. Let's hope it goes all right for that man. last thing before we get into these Instagram questions I wanted to know was you were kind of talking to me off camera about this, and let me know if, you're not comfortable talking about it here. But you said you were kind of facing a deportation. Well, there's no kind of with that. You told me you were on a visa, man. What is that situation like, man? And, are you feeling any anxiety with all that shit?
So it's not really deportation, but it's I came here on a student visa.
Okay.
Right? I came here to do music. After that, when my visa got over, I had to apply for an O1B visa, which is an artist visa. Mm-hmm. The artist visa gives people from different countries an option to stay here, or like basically gives them the privilege to work here only in the field of music. So say if you're an artist or you're an actor, you apply for that, you could only get work here legally as an actor.
Okay.
Your taxes are to be done as an actor. Everything, the immigration will check for an update, and they will see what you're doing. So you actually have to do music. That's why I took music serious. Rest in peace, Sosa. After my big bro died, he was one of the people that was my main sponsors on my visa. And Rare Rum, long live Rare Rum. So after that kind of changed my material status, because when one of your sponsors on the visa died, that puts you out of active status, if that makes sense.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
so it's not like I didn't do nothing crazy to crash out. I'm not illegally over here. None of that crazy shit. But I have a certain time. I have like a few months before I got to reapply for the same visa, or they send me back home. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense, man. It's like, the government wants to see that all your money, all your income is coming from you. The reason why you're here is to be an artist.
Right, which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. Okay.
If my sponsor was to not die, it wouldn't have made no difference. Like, it would,
Okay.
I'm still doing what I'm supposed to, so it's not like I have to be scared of,
I got you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace again to your big homie. Now, let's get into some Instagram questions. One wanted to know, will you ever come to Bangladesh for a concert?
Shit, they book me.
Okay.
I love Bangladesh. My dad from Assam, so that's like the way Bangladesh is a different country.
Yes.
But a few years ago, basically it was India. Like all that, like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh.
They were all on the same territory.
Yeah, except Sri Lanka. But that's still, to me, that's all, Indian. So like my dad, he from a state that's like right over there, like right by the border type thing. By the China border too. It's surprising people that's by the India-China border, they got like Chinese features, but like the Indian complexion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Long live Pops.
Yep.
Well, another IG question is, can you make some more bangers meant to be like Xanax or songs like that or that vibe?
Yeah, no, I definitely got like a whole tape like that out, bro, because, just all these things that kind of shaped me, it made me realize like, damn, bro, it's really people out here killing themselves, over 30,000 streams and having beefs and shit like that, and I'm getting millions of streams, touch wood, knock on wood, just off, just making some little singer-songwriter shit. So, like,
Dope.
You know how they say the way out or whatever, like I've been the way out. I just didn't, like when I just had to realize, like, not think backwards. A lot of people come over here, like, and they think backwards, like they feel like they gotta be heard.
Yeah, it's kind of like you always knew the way out. But,
I just dwelled into a different form because of the circumstances in my life and because of just whatever. Like, I just got tired of rock music. Like, nobody was listening to rock music. 2014, 15, motherfuckers was listening to, like, Lil Pump and all types of little different. Draco was really, like, blowing up. You feel me? A lot of different people. So I just took heed to the circumstances rock music was doing.
I remember one track you had with Big Head, and he produced one of my favorite songs, which is Witchblades by Lil Peep and Lil Tracy. Then you reminded me he did produce Gucci Gang. But somebody, God rest his soul, who I would have loved to see you on a track with would be Earl Swavey.
Man.
Yeah.
Long live Earl Swavey.
Long live Earl Swavey, man. I bumped into bro last year in April at Sasha Pisterman's party.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Long live Earl Swavey, man. Bro, always so supportive. Most of the time he was in and out of jail. My boy, he was real close to my boy Fofo, man. So, you know, I understand the loss.
I feel like because he's similar to you, he gets love from that LA street crowd, and he got love from like the SoundCloud
like
world.
Yams and all those people.
Yeah, he was endorsed by ASAP Yams. Speaking of Yams, man, the only other Indian rappers I know of are, other than you, are Jay Worthy and then Heems. You know, so it's just so rare.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even know Jay Worthy was Indian.
He was born in Vancouver, Canada, but his family's Indian.
That's crazy. Well, shout out Jay Worthy.
Yeah, shout out Jay Worthy, one of my favorite MCs.
Yeah. He hard. Him and Larry June, that's like
hell yeah,
like King Juan and Lil Durk.
Every day, man. That 2 Peas in a Pod album.
Man, that's a classic.
For
Classicism.
Sure. Classicism. Now, last Instagram question. My bad. I want to bring up the homie from 230 Co. In a second here, but Instagram wanted to know, why are you always throwing up a 4 in your pictures and videos?
Shit, that's like the zip code of like the city where I grew up, New Delhi 10049. So the 4, like, it's just kind of weird throwing up a 9. Like, it's not weird, but it's just like, it takes 2 hands.
Makes sense. Yeah, I see. Okay.
I just throw up a 4, 110049, and shit for my big bro Sosa. You know, rest in peace, Sosa. He was from the 400 block of Beach Street in Compton.
No doubt.
So just to commemorate it, my pops was from 104th Street. So, you know.
Okay, there's a theme behind it. Okay.
Yeah, like, it's not no gang shit, though.
No, okay. Yeah, glad you could clear that up. Illah, is there anything else you want to add here on Palmcast? Anything you want the people to know, like what's coming up next?
Foreigner out now. We just dropped 2 videos. We just dropped 4 videos, really. 7-Eleven, Thames Freestyle. In my city, and I'm having a brain fart moment. Blessed with, that's the one that Wallie gave, the meet and greet video. So we're doing that. I got more music on the way. Passport Volume 2 dropping. Strictly Family Fuck Friends dropping. We got the NFT coming, the video game. We're restocking on the drinks. We got the Frio Bitch merchandise coming out, plus the just another album, lots of music coming out there. Long Live Briss, I got some in the works with him. The Sacramento MC, I'm finna drop that just to commemorate him. I got some with Red Rum, so I'm finna commemorate that and get that right. And, just do like a tribute album, stuff like that. I basically have 300 songs, bro, scheduled for the next year.
It sounds like you gonna shut down 2023. It sounds like Illah got this shit on lock.
If I could drop 1 song a day for the next 1 year.
I've tapped in with artists and interviewed those who have done that, actually. 1 song a year, 1 song per day, each day of the year.
No, I'm not talking about making it. I'm talking about dropping it. I'll make a song a day anyway.
What? I don't even know what I said, but hey, man, do the damn thing. Whatever it may be, do it. Okay. Right. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Palmcast. Again, it's your boy Chillin' Dylan, Jesus of SoundCloud, Black Tom Anderson, and your favorite rapper still owes me money. Hey, Illah, let them know where they can follow you and stream all your music.
I still owe you that $5?
My man.
That's messed up.
$5?
Y'all
I go spend it at 7-Eleven.
They gonna give y'all the discount, man, if y'all telling y'all,
Hey, when you hit 7-Eleven personally, like, what do you pick up?
Bro, when I hit 7-Eleven now, I pick up some, like, stock drinks, like how they, like how Walmart has the great value, they got, like, the 7-Eleven drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'll pick up some cheap shit like that,
yeah,
some survival shit,
The little cheap protein shakes they got.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah. But now it's starting to get funny because people are starting to recognize me when I go to 7-Eleven. They'll start talking to me in Hindi. And they'll be like, "Oh, I seen you somewhere." Like, nah, you haven't, bro. Don't worry. It's funny, In a way, I feel like I could motivate more people that look like me, not just like Indian people, but just like people that don't fit the part, to do what they do.
Exactly.
You don't gotta be like. You don't gotta play a part.
Because there are, and I always try to rap it and I always keep going. But rappers who I would love to see you get on a track with would be like White John, maybe OGZ, and this is just Palm being the A&R at this point. But
A&R it, make it happen.
Yeah, let me try to make that shit happen. Obviously Wallie, but that's coming. I'm very confident in that. All right. Anything else you want to add, Illah?
No, I appreciate you for having me here, man. Like I said, when I first started, everybody has a story. I appreciate you for letting me speak mine on this platform.
So, hey, let me get my man from 230 up here. Yes. 230, what it do, man?
It's
welcome to Palmcast.
Here, bro.
Pleasure to have you, bro.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Tell me a little about this brand you got.
So, actually, the brand itself, like my boy Illah mentioned, it is awareness for, like how he said, the 30s. We all know that it is the M30s, the perks and whatnot. It overall started with the name being 235th. And then once it went to 235th, it went to 230. That's just because all the streets that consist of the 230 in it, that's where me and all my friends and my people we grew up on, you know. So we kind of just decided to just make it a 230, just keep it like the whole block.
He's trying to say it has a lot of significance to him.
Yeah,
because like it just started off as like some stuff that he did, you know, like that's where he grew up, like the street, and then you know the fentanyl thing started making sense. So like he really is trying to speak on it. You know?
Yeah, and
there
I
you
actually
go.
do have a dear friend that actually passed away to fentanyl. So long live B, you know.
Long live B.
And ever since him, it's just been my drive, and I felt like since now we're trying to take it to like a streetwear brand, make it more legit. You know, just this is only the beginning. Really, this is probably the first drop that social media has seen.
Yeah, and speaking of social media, let people know where they can follow you and, you know, order a shirt to support.
Of course, at official 230co, and my main page is _230, and like now people do call me 230 just because it's a brand. So you know I do go by that here and there, but like with overall, bro, with the goal to be here is just like he mentioned, like we're trying to like connect bridges with everybody. So it's kind of like bringing everybody together, you know, just stop like all the, you know, the contradicting each other and saying like the support, and you know how people on social media would love to say like, oh, like dick riders and whatnot. Like, nah, that's just all love, you know? It's all love. So it's like, I feel like when it comes to that, I feel like the real goal we're trying to get to is just expand to everybody, like show everybody love.
In LA or in California or in this subculture, if you support somebody, like they think it's dick riding.
Most definitely.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we got to change the narrative on that, man.
Yeah. But it's like, at the end of the day, I feel like just how I perceive myself as a brand, we're just trying to grow, you know, together. Anybody who's ever helped me with this has became a part of it. And I just thank everybody who's been there with me since the beginning, because I done started this myself. I had my own shirts that I had spray cans, stencils that I would make and sell myself. So now, like, where we're going with this is like, and I remind you, all this is all he printed on myself. So it's like all the work is myself.
Yeah, made with love.
Literally, exactly, made with love. So it's like that's really what we're going with this. We're kind of be like one of a kind. Not just have like people just put a brand and a like a word on a shirt and just sell it. Like, no, this is gonna be bigger than that. You know what I mean? We want everybody to wear this, and the price is not even too high either. The price is low, so everybody can afford it. I want everybody to just see what this really about. And once we do drop that Fuck Fentanyl t-shirt, it's going
going crazy.
It's going over with, most definitely. And like he mentioned, we do got the Free Your Bitch tee. That one right there, I have people hitting me up about that one all day long. Like, dope that shit. One doesn't get love, like all day long. So I feel like once that one does come, we're going to see a lot more of us, like, everywhere through LA. I do already have Wallie the Sensei, Spank Nitty James, just locked in with YS, you know, from Compton just yesterday. So I feel like where we're going right now. Yeah, shout out to all the people showing love, most definitely, you know, and all the people that come as well.
I brought bro here because this is really my favorite brand. Like,
yeah,
you can see it in my videos. I wear that shit. You know?
There you go. You got to support the homies brands.
Oh, no, and most definitely where I was headed with that, Illah actually has been one of the most, like, so one of my best support systems with this brand as well. How I have supported him, he supported me emotionally, mentally, physically, everything.
All the events before I knew, bro, I was popping out meet and greets, pop-outs, like all types of shit, supporting, coming to shows. You feel me? It just goes to show, like,
a real one for sure, through and through.
Yeah, and I feel like from here on out, it's just better just, you know, take things as they come.
There you go.
Looking forward to just making this bigger.
You know, you're a part of our network. I'm a part
there
of
you go. Y'all part of the palm tree.
And now you got your own t-shirt.
There it goes, yeah. You know, I'm going to rock this in some videos for sure. You already know.
Exactly, bro. It's
all
just
right,
how
man.
it is.
Well, thank you for joining me on Palmcast.
Well,
shout out to Illah. Hey, man. Make sure y'all are subscribed to youtube.com/PalmOfficial. One more time, make sure you follow Palm on Instagram and TikTok. That's @_PA.LM. And check us out on prettyawesomelitmusic.com. 230, Illah. Thank you guys so much for joining us, man.
Most definitely.
Peace, love, Palm.